to talk to you a minute about hitting the reset button of life, the reset button of life. You know, there are times we don't just double down on bad decisions. Sometimes we double down on dumb decisions, and we continue to do things, that really bring us to a greater sense of disparity. One of the things in hitting that reset button is that you got to tell yourself, I believe, have some conversations with yourself. Tell yourself that you made a mistake. Sometimes pride can get in the way of our liberation. This is crazy because sometimes we don't want our enemy to be right. You know, sometimes we have people who've said certain things about us, and what they have said is actually true, but because we don't want them to be true, we don't want it to be true. One of the things that we do is that we're going to prove to them that, they were wrong. Sometimes, if the truth be told, you need to hit the reset button because your enemy was right. And let me qualify that. Sometimes the enemy was not right because they were prophetic. Sometimes the enemy was right because what they said about you was just common sense. And it was just the fact that you didn't have common sense and you didn't want to listen. So sometimes, people that you don't like will be right in your life, just like you will be right in their life, even though they don't like you. Here's something else, as you set the reset button of life, sometimes you got to understand, and this is a tough pill to swallow, that people that you said were your enemy were really your friends that you made into enemies. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Somebody loved you enough to tell you the truth, and because they told you the truth, you turned them into an enemy. Well, that wasn't an enemy. That was a friend. It was just the fact that you didn't want to hear the truth. Here it is. You made them an enemy. Man, it's time to hit the reset button. It's time for you to grow up. There's a passage of scripture in the Bible. The Apostle Paul says this: when I was a child, I thought as one. I thought as a child. I spake as a child. I understood as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Something is wrong when you are a grown woman, when you are a grown man, but you're still acting like a child. You still carry out child behaviors. The thing that we have to learn to do is that we have to learn to not only just grow up in our bodies, we got to learn to grow up in our mind. Confess. There are things that I have done in my life. I had to go back and say, boy, what were you thinking when you did that? I messed up. The problem in today's society is that no one wants to hit the reset button. No one wants to apologize for what they've done. What people do now is that they double down on silly decisions, or double down on stupid decisions, or they double down on harsh decisions just so that they can prove a point to someone that they are still right, or they're sticking by what they initially said. Let me tell you this, and I'll leave you. You can stick by stuff that won't stick by you. Keep in mind that all of us are human. To forgive is divine. Keep in mind that all of us make mistakes. So, today is the day that you hit the reset button. I don't know what mistake you made. I don't know what you need to go back and apologize for. I don't know what you need to denounce so that you can stop trying to prove a point to somebody who perhaps doesn't have that much influence in your life. And if you're trying to prove that point to them, then what it means is that you've given them more influence in your life than you should have. So, man, hit the reset button. Learn from your mistake. Move away from your mistake. Learn to live your life over. I pray this word gave you strength for the journey.